Hello everyone and welcome to episode 52 of Generation GC. My name is Molly Hudelson, I'm your host, and today we're talking about The Truth from the Chronicles of Life and Death, Good Charlotte's third album in 2004, with Noelia Aizcorbe. Last week, we talked about The Day That I Die from The Young and the Hopeless. Next week, we'll be talking about a song from Good Morning Revival. Noelia is 31. She's the mother of a son named Benjamin, and she's an English teacher in Argentina, making her not just our first guest from Argentina, but our first guest in South America, which is so cool. She's been into Good Charlotte since she was 13, and she got to see them in 2005, and even got Benji's guitar pick thanks to a sign she had. Something I want to mention is that I love having guests from all over. In 2021, I want to see as many countries around the world represented as we can, as many different US states as we can. So if you are a Good Charlotte fan from anywhere on earth, especially if you're like, hey, nobody from my state or from my country or from my city has been on the show, reach out, let's talk. And if English isn't your first language, that's totally okay. As long as you're comfortable holding a conversation in English, you are good to go. I wanted to remind everyone to please continue educating yourselves about Black Lives Matter and anti-Semitism. You can visit blacklivesmatters.card.co and antisemitism.card.co to learn more. Finally, the second batch of Generation GC stickers are here. They look so cool. If you got stickers on the first go around, these look pretty similar. The only difference is that the glitter, like the grit of the holographic glitter, is just a little finer. So they are very, very shiny. And they look pretty awesome, if I do say so myself. So there's two ways you can get some stickers. Number one, you can support the show on Anchor. Go to anchor.fm/GenerationGCPod, and there should be a button that says support. All that money goes right back into helping the show. It helps me print the stickers and get them shipped to you. This batch of stickers costs like $35 or so. It helps me get equipment that I need, such as a laptop stand, headphones, cables, just anything that I need to make the show sound and be as good that it can be. Number two, you can make a charitable donation. This week, I'm encouraging everyone to donate to No Kid Hungry or to donate to your local food bank, whether you want to donate food or if you want to donate money. With the current situation, a lot of people are still out of work, and that means a lot of people are relying on food banks, and your donation can make such a big difference. So then you are going to take a screenshot of your support of the show or your donation, or take a picture if you're doing an in-person donation, and you're going to send that to me along with your mailing address, and I will send you stickers. You can reach out at GenerationGCPod, P-O-D, on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You can also email generationgcpod@gmail.com, and I'll get back to you. And of course, please keep up on the socials, because sometimes I will just post other things you can do to get stickers. Thank you all for tuning in, and now on to episode 52.
Okay, so The Truth is track 9 on the Chronicles of Life and Death, Good Charlotte's third album released in 2004. Track 8 is Secrets. Track 10 is The World is Black. This was not a single, so no chart notes or radio play to mention. The song was written by Benji and Joel Madden and John Feldman, and the album was recorded at Barefoot Studios in Hollywood with Eric Valentine producing and engineering, and Eric was assisted by Trevor Whatever and Chris Roach. I don't think those are their birth names.
I don't think so, no.
No.
I don't blame their parents.
Yeah. Matt Rad, whose last name is, I hope I'm pronouncing this right, Matt Radosovich, played piano on this song. So he also handled editing, programming, additional engineering, I think just on this song. I had not heard that name, Matt Rad, before. But he is a pretty accomplished producer and songwriter musician. He's worked with One Direction. He produced a couple songs, including Best Song Ever. That's pretty awesome. He's worked with one of my other favorite bands, Walk the Moon. He was a songwriter for Aquaman. He's worked with 30 Seconds to Mars. He engineered This Is War. And he also engineered Taking Back Sunday's album Louder Now.
That is really cool.
Yeah, it's fun reading these things and finding out these little details because, like, going into this, you know, I obviously knew that Eric Valentine had done the album, but I don't know all these other people that have worked on it.
And all of these connections that you have no idea that they existed.
It's crazy, and I feel like this is such a cliche thing, but the music industry is definitely a very small world,
Exactly.
as we learn from this.
Exactly.
Yeah. This song has actually been played live, which I did not expect because it's like a piano ballad. Like, Good Charlotte doesn't just whip out piano ballads live. So, according to setlist.fm, which, you know, disclaimer, as always, we don't know if that's totally accurate, this song has been played 3 times. Twice in New Zealand, in Auckland and Wellington, February 2005. And then at the Hard Rock Cafe in Jakarta, acoustic, in January 2007.
I would have cried.
Right? This, like, when this album came out, like, around 2005, this was the song that I so desperately wanted to hear live because, like, it was so different, I think. And I was like, I feel like they never will, because even before I ever saw them live, I'd watch videos and such, but it's like, I feel like they never will, but oh my God, I want to hear this live so bad. I want to teach myself to play piano so I can play this myself.
I know.
I really want to know, like, when they played it in New Zealand, was that, like, with an acoustic guitar? Was that with, like, a full piano with a keyboard? I looked up videos, and I didn't put this in the notes, but there's a video on YouTube, and it's something like Good Charlotte tells their fans the truth. So I'm like, oh my God, is this going to be, like, a live clip of the song? It's not. It's Joel giving us, you know, some kind of speech between songs. He's like, look, this is the truth. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys, and thank you for supporting GC, stuff like that. So it was not the song. It was a little misleading.
Boo-hoo.
I know. So we are going to dive very deep into the song, and we have a lot to talk about. But before that, I want to help our fans get to know you.
Okay.
So when did you first hear Good Charlotte, and what were your first thoughts on them?
It was 2003.
Mm-hmm.
My dad actually moved to Brazil because of work. I'm from Argentina.
Right.
And my dad was transferred to Brazil. And when we came back to Argentina to visit our family, I bought a magazine, one of those cheesy magazines for teenagers, like,
oh yeah,
how to tell if a guy likes you, if he blinks twice, you know, things like that, you know?
Yep.
Yeah, that you read and you're so into it. So I was just taking a look at the magazine, and then there was like a very thin column, and there was a picture of the band, Benji with spiky hair, and I took a look and I said, what's this? So I started reading the interview. They were talking about lifestyles of the rich and famous. I really liked what he was saying. So when I came home, I don't remember. I think it was Yahoo. It wasn't Google back then. Yeah, 2003. I don't remember. And I started listening to them. I first heard Little Things, and it was like, wow, this warms my heart, you know? This is making me feel good. So that was the first time that I heard them, and they blew my mind. It was awesome. Yeah.
And then you saw them in 2005?
2005. I was lucky enough to see them. I was still living in Brazil.
Okay, so that was in Brazil.
Yeah, that was the only time actually they came to Brazil and Argentina.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen this online. I'm sure you have, but I feel like I always see, to the point that it's like a stereotype almost, or like a joke, that people from Brazil will always tell their favorite artists, come to Brazil, come to Brazil. So were you getting like a lot of bands coming through, or do bands just like not tour Brazil?
No, it's like if you're lucky enough, they go to Brazil.
Yeah.
That's it. That's where Latin America ends, you know, because then they never come to Argentina. If they come to Argentina, I don't know, they come 3 times to Brazil and maybe 1 time to Argentina or things like that. But the thing is that I don't know if we have this huge, massive amount of people, you know, because it's very expensive. And actually, all the shows in Argentina are in Buenos Aires. And you have to travel to Buenos Aires, so it's quite expensive to go.
Right.
I think that's the main reason.
Oh, so there's like only one city, you think, in Argentina, and
exactly, because in Brazil they can go to Rio de Janeiro, they can go to Sao Paulo, but in Argentina it's just Buenos Aires.
Yeah.
So it's kind of difficult. And I was lucky enough to be living in Buenos Aires, in Brazil, in Rio de Janeiro, because that venue was for everybody. But in Argentina, you couldn't be underage.
Oh.
If you were under 18, you couldn't go to the show. So I was super lucky to be
Very lucky,
there. Yeah, because that was like one of the best days of my life.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was super cool, super nice. I went with 2 friends and we had an amazing time. I got way sunburned. I was like a tomato, you know.
Oh yeah.
Red.
Oh yeah.
I had a fever the next day.
Oh my gosh, from the sunburn?
Yeah.
Oh,
I was no, Molly, I was a tomato. You have no idea. We arrived at the venue at 8 o'clock in the morning, and they started playing at 6 o'clock in the afternoon. So it was, I was in line all that time under the sun.
Oh my God.
But I was really happy, so I didn't care.
Right. It's like, it's all worth it.
Exactly.
So you mentioned in one of your messages to me that you got Benji's guitar pick thanks to a sign. So do you remember what the sign said?
I've got pictures. I was in a magazine online. Yeah, because
oh my God,
this show was a huge show. It was called Claro que es Rock, and Claro was a telephone company.
Okay.
And they were in like this huge place where you had 2 stages. You had stage A and stage B. I don't know how far away they were from each other, but they were like facing each other.
Okay.
So there were 2 bands playing at the same time every time, you know, at every moment. So it was like a huge thing. And when I was there in line, I started hearing some people like, oh my God, yeah, I'm going to see. It was like Iggy Pop, 9 Inch Nails. They were like really cool bands.
Yeah.
And one of the, I don't know, somebody said, yeah, I have this poster. And I was like, whoa, a poster? I could make a poster right now.
Yeah.
I had prepared a fan book, like pictures, and I wrote them some letters and the story. But I didn't prepare anything. So I ripped out one of the pages from the notebook. I got a pen and I was like, okay, I want his guitar pick, but how do I say guitar pick in English? Because I had no knowledge. So I was like, help me. How do you say that thing that he plays with, the guitar, you know, that nobody knew it? And then somebody said, guitar pick. So I just wrote, Benji, I want your guitar pick. And I don't know, I was the first one on
there you go.
Yeah, what's the name of that thing? The fence, that thing that
the barricade, yeah.
Okay, I was holding from the barricade, so it was like the first one. There was no way he couldn't see me. So we had studied their placement on stage, so we knew that.
So you knew where you had to stand.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
So suddenly there was a guy coming down the stage, and he handed me a piece of paper and the guitar pick. I was punched. My hair was pulled.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was like, yeah.
Wait, so how old were you at this time?
15. I was 16.
Oh my God.
So I put the guitar pick in my mouth, and I spent the entire show with that piece of paper in my hand shaking and the guitar pick, and I still have it.
That's
I
so
have it on
cool.
yeah, it was really nice. I was really nervous, and I was like, is this really happening? I mean, am I this lucky? And
Oh
I
my
was that
gosh.
lucky. Yeah, so that made me so happy.
I love that. So you are the first person we've had on the show from South America. What kind of music, like, were your peers listening to at school? Like, were a lot of people listening to bands like Good Charlotte? Were they played on the radio?
Actually, yeah, it was not that. It was like they were starting to be listened to.
Mm-hmm.
They listened to a lot of Brazilian music, like it was more their music, and it was very hip hop thing, going on, and very popular music in the United States. There were also people that were huge fans of System of a Down and that kind of music. But this emo movement, let's say, it was kind of new. It was kind of difficult to find somebody who was into these bands. Like, it was not that normal. They had similar bands, like similar genre from Brazil, but not these particular bands. So they were more into hip hop and their happy music that Brazilians have,
Yeah.
That makes you want to move and shake your legs and your booty.
Dancing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Would people like dress emo? Because you had also told me that you dressed emo for a big party. Like, did people dress in like black pants with the chains and the striped knee socks and skull and crossbones, or did that not even really, like, was that not common?
You could see some people, and when you saw one of those people on the street, you looked at each other like, we're on the same team.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not the only one. But it was not that normal. Not that normal.
That.
Yes, for example, I remember I used to wear male underwear instead of panties. I don't know why. I felt comfy with them.
Yeah, whatever's comfortable.
Yeah, and well, my parents they felt terror, they were like, what is she going to do with her life? And I was happy wearing male underwear, and people on the street, they used to look at me, they turned heads. My family members, when I came to visit them, they were, what were you doing? What were you doing with your hair? Why do you need to wear so much eyeliner? But it was like, it was a thing, it was a movement. Yeah. It was not a phase, Mom.
And now you have a son named Benjamin, which is amazing.
That is really nice. My husband supports my love.
Good.
He actually likes them a lot, too,
because
of me. Yeah. He was like, what's the song that you're going to talk about today? Oh, I really like that song. And he started singing it, so it's really nice. Yes.
Good. That's good. So you have someone that supports it.
Yes.
So, Noelia, we had connected on Instagram over the summer, and you mentioned a couple songs that you love, one of them being The Truth. So why did you want to talk about this song in particular?
There's this funny thing that when I really like the layout of the album, like you could sing, you were able to talk about your feelings, you were able to like take that thing inside of you and say, I'm getting rid of this, but then you have something to calm down and cry to and put those sad emotions into, And I had this crazy idea that I was the only one in the entire world who was able to make a music video for this song.
Oh my gosh, so did you make a music video for this song?
No, but I had it all planned out.
Oh, okay, so tell me, what was the plan?
I just needed somebody to give me an email or something to communicate with them, because I thought that I had the perfect idea.
So, do you remember, like, what your idea was, what the concept was?
Absolutely. Can you imagine? Think of it. I mean, we're talking about, like, a ballad. It's a sad song. It's, like, kind of dark. It was a black and white video. Of course,
Of course.
It was raining.
Of course, yeah.
So I thought that maybe Joel or just some random guy was coming from the airport He was meeting this person that he was in love with, but he had his doubts, you know. And so he got off the plane. He was at the airport. Then he got into a taxi cab, and he was looking out the window, and it was raining, of course, because it's a sad song, you know.
Yes.
So I had all planned out in my head. There was somebody playing the piano, and there was a huge apartment with no furniture at all, huge windows, and he was there like, why is this happening to me, and singing. Then I grew up and I realized that it was a lousy video. But at the time, I thought that I was a genius.
I mean, I had many music video ideas that I came up with growing up. I don't know if I ever had, I guess what I would have imagined, what I might have imagined for this song was like very stark, like, you know, Joel is not the one playing piano on the recording, but in my mind, I think in my teenage mind, in the music video idea I had was like Joel sitting at a piano and he's like on top of a mountain, or he's like in an island, you know, all alone, and you get like really wide shots to show how alone he is, like playing the piano, even though I didn't know at the time that he didn't play piano on the song, you know. Like,
I thought it was Billy. I don't know why. I just thought it was Billy.
Billy would play keyboards live
exactly
in some songs, so I
thought maybe he could play the piano, you know, but if none of the other guys are in the video, why would he be in the video? Yeah. But maybe it would be cool, but and well, I don't know. I was crazy back then.
Yeah, I think we all were, but that, you know, that's just having passion and excitement.
Exactly.
So I want to talk about what the song means. So I would love to hear just what you think he is trying to say in the song.
I think I've been married for 15 years. I mean, not married, but with my husband for 15 years. Mm-hmm. I've had some boyfriends, but not many. But I think that it's about, you know, that point in a relationship when you know that it's over.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
But you just cannot say anything, and you know that it's over not because you want it to be over, but because the other person doesn't feel the same. It's I don't know, a distance or something. So I think it's about that. It's about him knowing that things are coming to an end.
Exactly.
And needing the other person to say, dude, tell me how you feel, because I can't do this anymore.
Yeah, let me move on.
Exactly. Let me go and have some fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's just about being at that point, and like as we're saying this, I'm like going back through all these like, you know, not so great memories, right? Just of those points in my life where like I knew something was not going to go on anymore, but I just wanted the truth from someone. Like I wanted, like,
how do you
want
feel?
Answers, right? Like,
yes.
And I maybe it's, and they don't really give context to what it is, like what the reason is. Like maybe the person's lying, maybe they cheated, you know, but whatever it is, it's like they're not being truthful in some way, and that really causes you, like, to me, like,
pain.
Yeah, it caused you a lot of pain, because it's like, did any of what we had, like, did any of this matter?
Exactly.
You can hear his voice like breaking in the pre-chorus and the outro, like just how desperately he just wants to know what is going on. And I think what sucks is like you don't always get an answer, sadly.
I know. You're expecting something, and maybe you have this idea in your head that, okay, maybe this is what's going on. I need to hear it from the other person. And then when you hear it, it's like a slap in the face. Because it's not that. Or it was harder than you thought. But the thing of not knowing, that is terrible.
Yeah.
Not knowing how to feel, how to act.
Yeah. It's like, I think back to the situation that I'm like reminded of as I talk about this. And I'm like, I so desperately wanted to know, you know, what this person was doing, where they were going, who they were talking to. But there was also a part of me that knew deep down that it didn't really matter what they were doing. Like, they were being untruthful, right? Like, they were not loyal in the way I needed them. And so it's like, at that point, it's like, you know, yeah, but it's also, it's like, you want the truth, but do you need
I
it?
need this.
Yeah.
I know that this is going to hurt, but I need this. Like, I need this hurt so I can
so I can move on.
Exactly. So I can cut this from the root, we say in Spanish, cortarlo de raíz, and stop it, because I can't go on.
Yeah. I mean, and that's what he says. Like, I know that this might hurt me. I know that this might make me cry. Like, you know, he knows that it might be hard to hear, but he just wants to hear it so he can process it, I think.
It breaks my heart when he says, you found a million ways to let me down. So I'm not hurt when you're not around. So, but I know I need to let go, but you just need to do something real so I can let go of this.
I feel like that line, like, you found a million ways to let me down, so I'm not hurt when you're not around, is like a person maybe just kind of being really shitty and kind of trying to get you to break up with them. Like, when they just start, you know, not acting how you should or treating you correctly. I don't know. Or maybe it's saying, you just let me down. You were never there from me.
Not as I expected you to be. You're not what I thought you were.
Yeah. It's oh God, it's a hard. It's a really tough place to be in, I think.
Yes, because you know it's over, but it's like, you know it's over, but your heart, your body, your soul, your mind needs more proof.
And it's
than
like
you already have.
Yeah, and it's like, before you say, you know, I'm breaking up with you, I'm done with you, whatever, before you say that, like, you want to know why you're breaking up with him, you know?
Absolutely. I mean, why? What did I do?
Yeah. You know, if you don't know why, it's like, you know, people, I don't know. People will say that closure, some people say that closure is a myth, but like, you can't get it from the other person. I don't know. What do you think? Is closure real? Is it important to get closure?
I think you need closure, because you need to stop the way you're feeling or the way you're acting or the way you're behaving, but you need something from the other person.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is that sometimes you are just so hurt or so blind that you don't see that you had closure.
Yes. Good point.
And that's quite difficult, I think.
I think that's a really good point, that sometimes, like, because I agree, like, closure can be really, there's a Walk the Moon song. Speaking of Walk the Moon, there's a Walk the Moon song called The Lift Away, which I think is, like, written from the point of view of, like, he finally has closure. And he's just saying, I forgive you, even though you made it difficult, basically. It's a really, really great song. But it's about, like, finally having that closure and moving on. But, yeah, it's, I think we're all blind in love, and unfortunately, you know, blind not just to red flags, but to what really should be obvious.
Exactly. Because sometimes we're way too in love, or maybe we're not in love, but maybe we're way too deep and we just can't see it.
Yeah.
And we lie to ourselves saying, no, he can change, or this time's going to be different. Okay, well, he doesn't mean this.
Right.
Yeah, he does.
Right.
He does.
Well, he says he loves me. He says he cares about me. So, you know, he definitely isn't doing anything behind my back. Like,
but his actions sometimes speak louder than words.
Exactly. I will always say, listen to what someone says, but believe what they do.
That's really nice.
Yeah. So, on a related note, do you think you should always tell the truth, or is it okay to lie sometimes?
I think you should always tell the truth, but being honest doesn't mean being mean.
Yes.
There's a difference, because you can say things you can say the way you actually feel. You can say things the way they are, but you need to be careful with the way you say them.
Yeah.
And sometimes just because you're going to hurt somebody doesn't mean that you have to lie.
Yeah.
You should tell the truth, but you should find a way in which it doesn't hurt, or a way in which that person doesn't feel betrayed. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, it's very, very necessary.
Well, it's like people mess up sometimes, right? But I think generally it's better for someone to find out about something sooner and from you than hearing it like third hand down the road kind of thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think it's like if you've been lied to, then you also have the pain of like, oh my God, they lied to me on top of whatever it is they were lying about.
Absolutely. And you have like this image sometimes that you want to keep, okay, well, things ended, but he was nice to me, or he treated me nicely. We had a nice relationship. But when they lie,
yeah,
and they say they don't, when they lie, it's like everything falls apart. That picture just crumbles.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, I'm thinking back to like the same situation in my life, and it's like, there were so, like, looking back, I can see, so many moments where I'm like, oh my God, that was the closure I needed. Right. But
yeah,
there were a lot of lies, you know what I mean? And it's like, I wish I had the truth, because I feel like the truth would have made me realize when it's time to like cut ties like a lot sooner.
I'm sorry, but can I play you a song so you can just think about everything you're going to tell me and then you say it to me? Can we just do that?
Yeah. I mean, even stuff like telling someone they look good in an outfit that they don't actually look good in. I don't.
Just say, that's lying.
Yeah, like just say, just, like, you don't, never, ever, ever, like, this goes out to anyone, any man, anyone that's dating a woman, whatever your orientation or gender is. Never tell a woman she looks fat, ever. But
unless you want to die.
Right, exactly. Unless you want to like die a slow and painful death. Never tell a woman she looks fat, but I'm thinking from my point of view, if I were to put on an outfit that didn't look great, I would want someone to say, well, that one's all right, but I really love the blue dress, or I really love this, or...
How do you feel wearing it? How do you feel with it? You don't look so happy as you looked with the other one.
Yeah.
So we take off the focus of the way your body is to the way you feel, because the way you feel is what actually, I don't know, it takes this energy out of your body and the way you portray yourself. So it happens the same when you're lying, because when you're lying, your body is saying one thing, and your words, your voice is saying something else.
Yeah. I also feel like if you start with small lies, like, oh yeah, you look great, when you don't, then that like allows bigger lies to kind of build up.
Exactly. You don't know what's true, or you don't know anything. You end up, I think that when you find out that someone's lying to you, you doubt every little thing they have told you.
Exactly. You're just like,
I really like your friends. Do you?
Right.
For real? Like,
right.
No, I don't like your best friend. Do you? For real?
Well, it's like why? I mean, people lie to, oftentimes it's like, well, I didn't want to hurt your feelings, is a lot of times the excuse. But I don't know, it's like you can't avoid hurting someone's feelings sometimes, but you can be kind in how you do it, I think. Kind and like respectful, and like lying to someone only to then say whatever you had to say in a really like nasty way, that's not respectful.
No, not at all. You can be honest and you can be polite and nice and caring.
Yeah.
And you should. We all should. The thing is that sometimes I think that sometimes we're just so eager to tell the truth that we just don't think about what it might cost. But if we stop to think, we can make a huge change. Because you can say, hey, listen, or I didn't like your attitude, instead of saying you're a horrible person. It changes a lot.
And even if it's like, hey, I didn't like your attitude, maybe it's like, okay, you're someone I really care about. You're not, like, your whole demeanor has changed. Like, what's going on? Because I definitely, like, I've noticed this in myself, but also in people around me, that, like, if someone is, like, really irritable, if they're really angry, if they're really cynical, a lot of times that means something is going on with them, and not that they're just, like, trying to be
mean
jerk. Right. It doesn't excuse it, but
you know, there's a reason. It's not valid, but there is a reason, because that's not their true essence. But sometimes we're just tired and we just don't pay attention to those things, and it's a pity. I think that many times lots of friendships and relationships fail because people don't take that time to think, you know, I'm going to say this, and maybe this person could feel like this, or this. It's like, oh, screw it. I'm just going to say it and whatever, because I'm not happy, so F them.
Right. I'm not happy, so, like, they can't be happy.
Yeah, and it's not like that, but that's part of growing up, I think, and finding people, interacting with other people, and being able to grow up as a person, changing the environment you relate to.
I think learning how to communicate in a way that is clear and direct about how you feel and what you want, while also being, like, polite and not just respectful and not being a jerk. Like, that's, like, an important life skill that, you know, like, yeah, that's cliche, but, like, a lot of people, I know plenty of people that are not so great at communicating what they actually want, you know?
Yeah. So the message is totally different.
Yeah.
Because there is always going to be a gap between what you say and what the other person gets. But you can make it smaller.
Yes.
With the words you use.
Yeah. Definitely. So I did want to mention that I searched and I tried to find, like, interviews and, you know, things where the band talked about this song online. And I didn't see anything online where the band talked about this song. I did see on songmeanings.com, a few people commented mentioning a Kerrang article. Several people mentioned this same Kerrang article. So, like, I guess this would be a secondary source, because, like, the interview itself would be a primary source. So
let's see.
Someone else, someone quoting or talking about the interview will be a secondary source. So that's my disclaimer, because I haven't seen the actual article, because Kerrang is a magazine out of the UK, which I definitely wasn't reading in 2005. I don't think I knew what it was.
I only know it because of the covers on many of the pictures, you know, because sometimes you would Google a band and it was like, I actually thought it was Kerrang, not Kerrang. So it's like alt press, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's similar to, like, alt press, but it's based in the UK. Although they do have a US office. I actually last September, I photographed a hardcore festival for them, Back to School Jam in Jersey City. So they have a US office, but I think it's based in the UK. But yeah, similar to, like, an alt press or Rock Sound.
Okay, Rock Sound. Oh my god. Those cover magazines that I was a child, I was like 15, and I was like, what's this? I wish I could have this.
Yeah.
I didn't even know what it was, but I wanted that.
Were there any magazines like that in Argentina?
I don't know in Argentina, but in Brazil, I lived there for 3 years,
Mm-hmm.
and my two best friends were really keen into Good Charlotte too,
Okay.
because of me.
Good.
With one
Good
of them,
influence.
actually, with one of them, actually, we exchanged bands because we used to sit with the CDs on, that little book they have inside that I don't know the
Yes.
name in English. And we used to read them because they would always thank the band. So I used to read them and spend hours online trying to find those
the bands they were talking
and
about.
some songs, so I could know if I had the same music interests as them,
Yeah.
And there was a magazine stand near my house in which they had this. It was like a small magazine, but when you opened it up, it was a poster.
Oh, cool.
And it had, I don't know, maybe it was a photo shoot about Predictable. Do you remember that look that rose that
Yes.
they would have on their hands, their heads? So it was a poster, and you had some info about them. I don't know, information like, I remember this, and oh my god, it was Benji's favorite underwear.
Yeah,
Is
I
like
remember
blue.
all of those.
Things like that. Yeah. Billy loves Star Wars, and his favorite character is, I don't know, Chewbacca, because he does those things that now I think and I say, oh my god, it was for us, for stupid girls who just watch anything. But I could have a picture of them, and I could buy a magazine. So I remember that I would collect magazines that I knew there was an article about them or something. Back then, when Joel was dating Hilary Duff, there were many magazines with pictures of them. So I would buy those magazines, which were these cheesy magazines that I was telling you about. But they were so cheesy that they didn't have important information about them.
Yeah, it would just be like, this is who, Joel's favorite color. This is Benji's favorite pizza toppings. Yeah.
His favorite cereal in the morning. Nobody cares about that. That doesn't make him as a person. It's like, whatever he eats, I don't care. I mean,
right. I always wanted to know, like, what were the songs about? Like, what were their favorite bands? What inspired them? Like,
absolutely. Not the things that he likes doing while he's taking a poop. I don't know.
Yeah, right.
But you have that information and you're happy with it.
Yeah.
At least I was, because I was really young and the internet wasn't a tool. It wasn't the same tool that it is right now.
Right. It wasn't like you could just search and find anything.
Absolutely. There was like a lot of information for me. And I remember telling my mom. My mom used to call me Benchita. Instead of Benji, Benjita. And that's the way she calls my son today.
Cute.
And she was like, okay, but how do you know that's real? I know it, Mom. I know it.
I know it. I know it's real. This is not a phase. Yeah.
It wasn't a phase. They always laugh at that because I still have pink hair, for example.
Mm-hmm.
I've got some Good Charlotte tattoos and they still laugh and they're like, I never thought you would pull it off for the rest of your life, but you're still doing it. Absolutely, Mom. That was not a phase.
Well, did you see I tweeted something this week, a screenshot of a comment from 2004 where someone said, stop analyzing Good Charlotte songs.
Who are you, dude?
It's a waste of time. I was like, oh, you don't want to hear my podcast then, do you?
I'm sorry, but no, it's not. Let me tell you something. Just because his favorite underwear is light blue doesn't mean...
Right. So you said you have a Good Charlotte tattoo?
I've got 3 of them.
Mm-hmm.
2 of them, actually. One of them, I just copied Billy's tattoo.
Awesome.
For my 16th birthday, I got the girl on the Chronicles of Life and Death.
Oh, cool.
Album art. That was me. I really like fairies, so I thought that was a fairy. And she came back from the death. I don't know. This is what I thought. But I still love it, and it means a lot to me because it represents them.
Yeah.
So I got her. Then I got the sparrow that you have on the first CD. On the self-titled.
Yeah.
My best friend, the one that used to go with me to these shows, she passed away a really long time ago. And I had lost the CD.
Oh, no.
And I was telling a family member that she had passed away. And I started crying, so I went to my room and I laid down. And when I was laying down, I found the CD on the floor.
Oh my God. That's amazing.
Yeah, yes, it was. So we really liked the band. We kind of discovered the band together, so it was really meaningful for me.
Yeah.
And when I moved to my house, to my own house, there was a nest of sparrows outside of my window.
That's like fate. That's amazing.
I know. So I got it when it was 2006 that I got it. 2007. I got that tattooed and I love it. She's my beautiful sparrow. Yeah.
Yeah, that's sweet. Because there's like so many meanings to that.
Absolutely. It's very meaningful.
So I brought up Kerrang, and I did want to read the quote that this person shared. So Rip Me to Shreds, that's this person's username, said, "This is from Kerrang when they reviewed the new album and asked Joel some questions about The Truth." So Kerrang, the interviewer, said, "The song The Truth sounds like a really personal track." And Joel says, "It is. That was one of the first songs I wrote for the new album. I was in Japan for 3 weeks because I'd just split up with my girlfriend and I felt like I had nowhere to go. So I hung out in Japan for a bit after we finished touring there and read a lot and wrote a lot, and that song was the result." So, yeah, I mean, I think we were pretty much spot on in our interpretations, you know.
Absolutely. We were right.
I can really see that, though. Like, there's definitely value in traveling or like not being home when, like, whether it's a breakup or grief or like anything you're trying to process, just like not being home, because then it's like you get to do your processing and all your feeling and all your emotions somewhere else. And then you come home and it's not like it's haunting you at home.
They are very raw, I think. So you are able to process them. Process? Is that okay?
Process, yeah. Okay,
then better. So yeah, I do agree with you.
Yeah. I mean, Japan sounds like not a bad place to do that, especially because that's so different from, you know, anywhere else like the US. So yeah, I don't blame him for doing that. And
and they were quite famous there too. I mean,
yeah.
A huge fan base. So that must have been a place where they felt comfortable, maybe, but not us. I don't know. They were comfortable, but not like people were all over them.
Yeah.
Or him in this case.
I really want to have someone from Japan on the show. Because I know that like
so cool.
That was the whole reason they did the intro on this album in Japanese, because they had such a great fan base there and everything. You know, they love the country a lot.
That would be really cool.
Yeah, it would be really cool.
I remember listening to the intro for the first time and trying to find out what I couldn't understand anything. And I still laugh because when I listen to it, I sing. And I sing as if I knew it. And I'm pretty sure
But you don't know what the words mean.
Absolutely. No idea. And I don't know how they are pronounced, but I think I do. So I tell myself, kudos, girl. Keep on singing it.
Yeah. I remember hearing it, and I would have been 13, and I don't think I knew at first that it was Japanese.
No way.
Like, I found that out pretty quickly because I was like, what are they singing? Like, this doesn't make sense. This is not English words. So I must have, like, found it, you know, online somewhere. But, yeah, listening to that for the first time, I was like, what are they doing?
It reminded me of Harry Potter. I don't know why, but it felt like I was in Hogwarts and Dumbledore was about to come right in the corner and say, "Hello, children." I don't know why.
Right? The Chamber of Secrets has been opened. Please go back to your dormitories. Yeah.
Let's sing a song and let's go back.
Right. Back to The Truth, though. I was thinking about this, and like they really don't have a lot of piano-driven songs. I mean, they have a handful of songs with piano with keyboards, but they don't really have a lot of ballads. Like, they have slow songs, but they really don't have a lot of ballads. And The only other one I thought of was Where Would We Be Now from Good Morning Revival. Can you think of any others that would be like a ballad?
No, because in my head, I think a ballad, and I think it's about love.
Yeah.
But not about, because the other ones that we know are songs for their mom or their dad. And a ballad is for somebody you love. And no, this is like for someone you love. Someone who loved you, let's say. But no, this was like very deep. This was very different for them, I think.
Yeah. It was very different for them. I wonder how it came about that it was going to be like the instrumentation, the arrangement of this song is very bare. Like it's piano and there's like a little bit of drums going on, but like there's no guitar, there's no bass, there's no cello, there's no strings going on, which you might often hear in a song like this, right? I really would love to hear, like, I think it works because I think it makes it feel so much more raw.
Absolutely. Yeah, because also it is as if he was showing, like, this is how I feel and this is tearing me apart. So yeah. I need to show this somehow throughout music.
Yeah. Well, and it's like I'm trying to be honest. I want you to be honest. I don't want anything else. Like, just be raw with me, be real. And so that's what I interpret as, like, that's what they're trying to do musically too.
Yeah. It was very powerful. I think that it was simple and powerful.
Yeah. I always like to talk about what other, songs in the catalog a song relates to. And I had a few listed down, although they're all different. Anxiety being one, which, like, I never would have put together at first, but, like, anxiety, I think, is also about just really desperately wanting to know what's going on with someone, like they're not communicating. So I think that totally relates to what's going on with this song. But then, you have songs like Counting the Days and Makeshift Love, I guess, maybe Reason to Stay, that are sort of more general, like, this thing isn't working, but I feel like Anxiety is kind of the closest related to this, what they're doing.
I think that The Truth deals with this thing of how he feels in his heart and in his mind. And Anxiety, it's more like a general way.
Yeah, okay.
It's like his life is like this, but in The Truth, this is my heart, I'm pouring my heart up here, and this is exactly how I feel. And with Anxiety...
Maybe Anxiety is his head. Like, if this is the heart, Anxiety is kind of the head.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Like, The Truth is like, yeah, he's pouring out his heart. This is what he feels. He's like, I don't care. I just want to know the truth. And then in Anxiety, he's like, oh my God, like, I'm underwater, I'm spinning out.
Maybe like The Truth is him in his house alone, and Anxiety, it's around people. This is how I feel. Like, I feel anxiety. I don't feel okay, but this shall pass too,
Yeah.
I know it's going to be different in a couple of months, days. I know I'm going to move on. But The Truth is me alone, laying in bed, thinking, what's going on? Me in my head, my heart, me and my thoughts.
Yeah. It's like it definitely seems like a song that he was spending a lot of time alone when he wrote this song. Because I think you have to be really able to get to the core of what you're feeling to write something like this.
Yes, and that makes it more real.
Totally.
And maybe that helps you get the closure that you sometimes have, but you don't see.
Yeah. Yeah. If you spend... I don't think it's healthy to, like, totally isolate yourself forever. Like, being a recluse is, probably not great, but if you allow yourself time to process thoughts on your own and, like, process your feelings on your own, I feel like that lets you, like, figure out how you feel.
They're lighter because you don't have anybody's opinion. It's just you and what you feel. Because, we all listen to people, and sometimes people mean well, because they do, but we get those things in our heads, sorry. When you're alone, nobody gets into your head but you.
Yeah. Right. It's like other people can put ideas into your head, or they might misinterpret something.
But when you're alone, it's just you and your feelings, and it's very raw and it's very simple, because that's what you're actually feeling.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
which is
maybe it's-
hard. Which is really hard sometimes.
Yeah. But that's life. We gotta deal with these things.
Yeah, exactly. You have to deal with it. Like, not dealing with your feelings is like a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, but thanks to this, we have this music that they beautifully have. So I'm sorry if they had bad times and rough times, but I loved it.
Yeah.
If it has helped them create all of they have, then I'm sorry, but I love it.
Right. It's okay. You went through some shit, but we got something good out of it.
It will get better. Just relax.
Yeah.
Just keep on going.
Yeah. So did you have any like memories or stories you wanted to share about this song, about the truth?
No, it's just that funny thing that I told you about the music video.
Yes, I love that.
Thought that I thought I was like, I don't know, innovating everything.
Yeah.
I was very innocent.
I love that though. That's fun, and we've gotta like. You're not the first one that's mentioned like, oh, I had an idea for a music video. What I would really love someday, if it was like a little safer to travel and, we had the money, is like get everyone that I've had on the show, get us all together and film these ourselves.
Oh my God, that would be so awesome.
It would be hilarious.
Yeah, that would
I don't
be
know
so
how we would do
amazing.
it, but in a world, where it's safe to travel and I have the money to fund this, we'll do our own DIY Good Charlotte music videos.
That would be so awesome.
Yeah.
Like a couple of years ago, I was pregnant with my son, so it was 2016.
Okay.
It was the band's anniversary. So in Argentina, there is a GC fam,
Yes.
which is a fandom, and it's from Buenos Aires. And those girls and people that take part in it are amazing. They decided to give us some songs, so we had to record ourselves doing something with that part of the song. So you could just sing it, play it if you played any instrument, record yourself dancing, whatever. And it was really cool because we were part of their songs. We thought like we're the music video, so your idea would be, I don't know, out of this world. I would love it.
That's so cool. That's so fun.
It was super fun.
Yeah. So I want to read some critical response, what some reviewers have had to say about this song. So the Frederick News Post appreciated their humble nature. So I don't know. We'll read this. At first listen, the new album is a departure for a band that is often criticized for sounding too similar to one of their biggest influences, Green Day. Were they really, though? Like, were they really criticized for sounding like Green Day? Because Good Charlotte got criticized for a lot, but I don't know if sounding too much like Green Day was what they were criticized for.
I have never heard that. I read that and I was like, really? Okay.
Right.
If you say so.
But given a chance, the experimental album simultaneously demonstrates the members' lofty ambitions and their humble nature. The Truth deals with relationships, while It Wasn't Enough talks about insecurity, faith, and self-confidence. Yeah, I mean, they got the songs right, I mean, they definitely, Good Charlotte's definitely, in some instances, been compared to Green Day, but I also feel like that's kind of like Green Day was like the biggest band in the world in 2004, 2005, so like, yeah, of course they got compared to them.
Absolutely. And they were the first, there was those years were the first bands that were rising, with this new movement.
Yeah.
They kind of sounded similar and they kind of talked about the same thing, but it was what we were feeling and nobody was talking about that like that.
Yeah, I feel like Green Day, I mean, I don't know, I love Green Day, and I was just listening to American Idiot a few days ago, and it's such an amazing album, and like,
Totally.
I think American Idiot was like a turning point for Green Day in a lot of ways, but in a lot of ways I felt like Green Day wouldn't be like as emotional as Good Charlotte with their content.
No, they were much more. I don't think that they were so. They were more detached with their feelings.
Yes,
their inside feelings.
That's a
it was
great way of putting it. Yeah,
what the world made you feel, not how you felt inside.
Yes,
which is very different.
Yeah, and I mean a song like "Wake Me Up When September Ends," like obviously from American Idiot, Billy Joe is talking about losing his dad and everything, and that is really personal. But yeah, I feel like in general, I don't think of Green Day as like a very emotional band.
No, it's like a F the system. I can do it. I'm good enough, even though you told me I'm not.
Yeah.
And just have fun with life. It sucks sometimes, but it was not as it was not in touch with their inner feelings. I don't know.
It wasn't like as introspective. Like this album has a lot of introspection, I think. Like a lot of like, oh, I'm, walk away. I'm going to walk away from my problems. Secrets, like, oh, I have all these dark, we all have secrets inside.
Yeah.
I just want the truth from you. All these like really personal, introspective kind of things.
And yes, absolutely. It's not the same. You can compare them, but it's not the same.
Yeah.
No.
Definitely. So Sound the Sirens said that Chronicles is a step in the right direction career-wise, but it shows a conflicted band trying to do too much at once. The band falls flat when they try too hard. The vocals on The Truth and We Believe are strained and sincere, but the lyrics do not match the effort. Lyrics have never been Good Charlotte's strong point, though they can work well when the rest of the song is simple, catchy, and melodic.
No, I do not agree with you, but okay.
I don't necessarily agree with it either. I don't think they're like wrong. You know what I mean? Like I don't look at that and go like, okay, well you just don't get it. But like, yeah, I don't agree with what that person has to say. I mean the lyrics on this song aren't like complex. There's not like a lot of metaphor. He's just like, I want the truth, even if it hurts me. Like,
I don't care no more.
Right. I don't care. Just tell me the truth. Like, you don't need to be super complex or like poetic. Just like say how you feel. Don't edit yourself.
Yeah.
Last review that I'll read is from Hip Online. They said they called it the average, and they said lack of lyrics that mean something hurts, but it still sounds nice. Not great.
That's what you say to your nephew when he shows you a picture,
right?
A drawing that he made. Oh, it's nice. It was not great, but it's nice. No.
Right. Let's read some comments from song meetings. So user Dementia said, this song is what I would say to my ex-boyfriend. Exactly. Wow. My respect for Good Charlotte has grown so much. Mood, I can feel that. Punk Rock Dude, great username, said the singer's voice seems a bit country-ish at times at the beginning, but oh well. I find this song quite sad and can be related to by most people. I think it's about a breakup between two people taken from the dump-ease point of view. The truth being how they feel about the relationship, which would be that he or she wants it to end. I don't know. Do you agree with that? The country-ish?
No, I don't. I think that, but I speak not knowing about the genre.
Yeah.
I think that the way they pronounce, I basically learned how to speak English with them. My pronunciation, I picked up so many words from them.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's like very, not complex. I don't know. I think for me it's quite normal. If you ask me about country, I have a really strong accent, and he doesn't have it. I don't think that's... No.
I don't know. I think sometimes a good song could be arranged different ways, I could hear this. I could almost hear a country singer singing a song like this, but I don't really think Joel sounds country-ish here. I don't know.
No. At least as far as I'm concerned, what country is? No.
Right. So 2 more comments. I See Comics said, wow, this is the only song ever from Good Charlotte I just can't stand to listen to. I've got pretty much everything back to 1996, and this is the only song I don't like. The album kind of sucks as it is, and this song is the worst of the worst.
Why do you have to comment that? Like, keep it to yourself, dude. Just go read a comic. Go see a comic.
Right. Go read your comics.
Yeah. There is no point in doing this.
Yeah. So last comment. Cryo Kid with 2 Ds says, quick round of applause for GC. This song was the only thing that got my dad to let me play GC in the car. So thanks, guys. Thanks so much. Well, it used to be that I just listened to the song and got bored by the seemingly monotonous lyrics. But once I got older, I got into it more, and I'm really touched by this song. Nice. I'm glad that this song got your dad to let you play GC in the car.
Yeah, that was really nice.
Yeah.
Your dad kind of got cooler.
Yeah. Amazing. So I just have a few questions as we tie things up.
Okay.
Okay, so Noelle, how has this song in particular held up for you over time?
I think that last comment where he says that once I got older, I got into it more.
Yeah.
It's amazing because when I heard that, I thought I had been in love, and I thought I had been through a breakup, but that was not real. And most of their songs, actually, as I grew older, they kept having more and more meaning.
Yeah.
Because I could relate to those things that they were relating to, they were talking about.
Right. Like as you get older, you have more experience.
Yes. And things get more real, I think. Because when you're a child, when you're a teenager, you think that, okay, this is the worst. No, kiddo, it's not. Hold on.
Right.
And I think that this is the thing that I love about them, that as I grew older, their songs kept on growing with me. I could apply them at any time of my life, that they have a different meaning, and they have a meaning. Yeah. And this song, I've been there when I said, okay, is this over? I told you I've been in a relationship for 15 years.
Yeah.
I'm still young. I'm 31. It's not that common, but there were times in which I said, is this real? I mean, what's going on? Are you lying to me? Is this you? What's going on? And I've heard this and I cried to it.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I can do it.
Yeah. I think, for me, it keeps coming up with this album that I definitely when I was 13 and I heard this album, I didn't really grasp how dark much of it was. And I think when I first heard this song, I was like, oh, I love it. It's piano. His voice is so intense. It's incredible. I don't think I related to it when I was 13 and, had never been dumped or rejected or anything like that at that point. A couple of years down the line, life happened and I was like, oh, okay, that's what this is.
They have meaning, but it doesn't matter when you listen to them. You can find them a meaning. It's like they are universal,
Yeah.
They fit into any situation of your life and they give you comfort.
Yes. Comfort for sure. I was listening to the album as I was, cooking just before this. And I was like, all right, it's been a big week, I've been very stressed. And I was like, all right, it's comfort. It's there,
Yes. They make you cozy inside.
Yes, exactly.
I know.
So what has Good Charlotte meant to you over the years and how has that changed?
They have meant, when I first started listening to them, I felt that I belonged somewhere.
I love that.
You know what? Yes, it was like, these guys get me. So if they are talking to me through these songs, then it means that I am not the only one. And it means that this is going to change. If this was the worst, it's going to end.
Yeah.
So it was really nice. I felt really lonely. I had no idea. I had taken English lessons, but my vocabulary was very limited. So listening to them opened lots of words for me. The emotional part, getting in touch with my feelings, knowing how to deal with them, learning this new language, expressions, vocabulary, how to pronounce words. It was amazing. I think they are a huge part of who I am. If you know me, you know that my favorite band is Good Charlotte, and you know it. And you know why my son's name is Benjamin. So it has never changed. They're still there. They're like that thing that you cannot get rid of because it makes you feel good. It gives you comfort. That's what I just said. They give me comfort.
I think that's really cool that they helped you learn just about how to express yourself in English, because I think that's one of the hardest things about learning a new language is, I took a few years of French in high school, and I went to Paris a couple of years ago. I could navigate okay. I could ask for directions, right? I could ask for directions. I could order food most of the time. But what I was not able to do ever was to express myself or how I was feeling in French, because I never really had that. I wasn't really exposing myself to French music. So I could definitely see how music like Good Charlotte would be a big help in learning to express yourself and in general, and in learning another language.
To stand up for myself, many of the things that they said, because everybody was like, okay, this is a phase. I had a really bad time those 3 years that I lived in Brazil. I didn't like them. I didn't enjoy them at all. And I felt that they kept me sane.
Yeah.
I felt that they were the ones that I could turn to when things got dark, which in my head, they were quite dark. They were not nice. I was not feeling okay. And they were that hug that I needed. They were that word that I needed. They were lots of things that I think that's why not many people understand. I really feel music with my heart, my body, my soul. And that's what they did for me. They helped me grow up.
I love that.
Yeah. Thanks.
Amazing. So, do you have any last words about the truth about Good Charlotte or about yourself?
Maybe about the truth that now we could ask them to play it live.
Yes.
Just, I don't know. Grab a keyboard. I don't know, a Zoom meeting or something, but just play it for us. Come on, we're asking you, please.
I love it. Oh, I would love that so much.
That would be so amazing. After all those years, being able to listen to the song, having experienced that, and maybe for them singing that, having being over, because that's over for him now.
Yeah,
he has outgrown that, so that would be cool.
Yeah. So last thing before we head off, two more things, I guess. So I'm doing a Generation GC and Friends playlist on Spotify. So I'm going to include The Truth, the song that we covered on the show. And I also like to include just a recommendation from our guests. So anything you've been listening to lately, like anything that's not Good Charlotte, anything you'd want to share, any songs?
I am so obsessed with Machine Gun Kelly.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I have been obsessed with him over these last few years. And I think that maybe, I don't know, World War III.
Okay.
That would be the one.
Man, I need to get Machine Gun Kelly on this podcast.
I would die. Oh my God. But it's really funny because I'm telling you to put this song, and this one is, if you listen to the lyric, he's talking about, he's basically telling, if you're going to lie to me, just make it look good. So it's kind of, it's kind of the opposite, but this thing of, if you're going to be honest, do it. And if you're going to lie to me, come on, don't be such a pussy. I don't know if I can say that. I'm sorry.
You can say that. Yeah, that's fine. Amazing. Well, thank you, Noelle, for coming on the show.
It was really nice.
Where can people keep up with you on the internet? Did you want to share your social media?
I've got Twitter, but I'm just a boring person. I'm a boring teacher. I've got Twitter, which is Damn Noelia. But I've got Instagram with the same username, but I just don't post anything. It's just for news and memes, I think.
Fair enough. Honestly, that's a pretty healthy way to use it. News and memes.
I was following the elections through Twitter.
Oh my God.
Twitter, and I was so nervous. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But
I recorded, so episode 35 is going up this week, and I did my intro for that today. And in the intro, I was like, I slept better last night than I have in like a week because I was checking the election results.
all time. Me too. And I don't live there.
Yeah.
It was not my president. But I was like, come on, this has to be over. I mean, everybody knows what's going to happen. So, dude, get out. This is not your place anymore. Bye-bye.
I know. I don't expect him to go without a fight, but, whatever.
It's going to be rough.
He's gone, he will be gone anyway.
If we want to say it like, good Charlotte, this is a new beginning.
Yes, so exactly.
Let's cheer to it.
Yes, amazing. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. Listeners, thank you for tuning in. Last week, we talked about The Day That I Die from The Young and the Hopeless. Next week, we'll be talking about a song from Good Morning Revival. My name is Molly. I've been your host, and you can follow Generation GC at Generation GC Pod, Pod, on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can also follow me, Molly, at Hudelson, MHUDELSON, on Twitter and Instagram. Thank you all so much for tuning in and continuing to support the show. Please make sure you're subscribed on iTunes, Spotify, wherever you listen, and please tell a friend.